Hello, we are Team 1, and the members of our team are Aaron Nisi, Molly Shukla, Vicky Moriera, and Wayne Janik. Our capstone project focused on the creation of a clothing e-commerce application prototype. Our application is called StyleMe, and it is an app that allows you to buy and sell clothing directly to other people. The main feature of StyleMe is that fit is the focus. The goals of our app are as follows. The app should allow users to easily sell clothing items. The app should allow users to easily buy clothing items. Users should easily be able to find clothing based on their exact body dimensions, and the app should be simple, attractive, modern, and effective. Our design process followed the typical user-centered design process. We created the idea of StyleMe, completed research, analyzed the research, and created 2 prototypes, one low fidelity and one high fidelity. After creating a prototype, we conducted usability tests in order to find out what worked and what needed attention and improvement. After each testing session, we refined and polished the prototypes based on user feedback. Some of our major findings came from the user interviews. We assumed that users would most like a map feature that could locate other users close by. However, in reality, finding clothes that fit was the most important aspect to users. We switched our designs to fit that need. Other findings included making trustworthiness, convenience, price, and security a priority. We also found that most of our participants thought that an app like StyleMe is, at the very least, potentially useful. We created 3 different personas based on the results of the interviews. These personas reflect the 3 different things participants said that they most wanted to do on a clothing e-commerce app: buy, sell, and rent. Our personas are buyer Lindsay Rose, seller Tina Evans, and rentee Katie Norman. We examined goals, frustrations, and motivations in order to create these 3 personas. The next big findings came from our low-fidelity prototype usability test. These are some of the quotes that came from participants during testing. We found that we needed to flesh out the online closet more thoughtfully, that we needed to clean up the filtering system, and that the registration process for this application should be a priority in order to make everything more convenient for the users. We also discovered that renting clothing was not in fact something important to the users after all, so we streamlined the app to focus only on buying and selling.
Alright, so let's take a look at the StyleMe application. Here we have the home page of the StyleMe application. As a reminder, one of our goals was to look into the exact fit or body dimensions of our users. This was one of the ways that people wanted to purchase clothes. So we have this sign up process where you can click on sign up, enter your information, click next, and you get to this login info page where a user can update their name and email would already be populated, insert their phone number, and a profile picture. However, we realize that users may want to skip this step for the time being while they kind of play around with the application first. Similarly, we have this form for adding shipping address and billing address. This is because users are going to primarily be using this application for buying clothing. However, we understand that participants or users might want to skip this step as well before they start using the application. Then we have our area where people can put in their MyFit measurements. We also allow users to skip this step for the time being, and eventually they can go into our hamburger menu and look into the settings. This is their home page that they get. If a user has already placed an order, they would be able to monitor their order, see if it's been shipped or delivered. Also, in their home page, they would get recommendations, recently viewed, and popular in their circle. One of our major goals was to allow people to buy clothes from other users. Therefore, if you go to the shop section and select an item, you'd be able to go in, look at a clothing item, purchase it, add it to your basket, and then proceed to a checkout. Our second goal for users was to be able to sell clothing. This would be found in their closet, where they can go to their closet, and then they'd be having the opportunity to see the clothes that they're utilizing currently, and then go into a for trade section, which would allow users to sell items. We noticed through our usability test, though, that for trade was a little confusing, and people did not realize that this was a place to go to sell items. This button over here is where someone would select to sell their clothing. They could upload the details of that item and then list it for sale. Now we'll go ahead and check out of this application.
Our improvements to the app were apparent after testing the high-fidelity prototype. Most of the participants found that the buying and selling processes were very easy to go through. However, while 6 out of our 8 participants found that filtering was easy or very easy to do, improvements still need to be made in order to make that process the best it can be. Overall, our key learnings are as follows. The interviews focused our attention on fit rather than geographical convenience. Having 2 different card sorts proved that we were on the right track for navigation. Users said that they would like to rent clothes, but we found out that they actually don't want that at all. And finally, StyleMe is easier to use for younger users. Our younger participants, aged 20 to 30, had minimal problems navigating the app, while our older users, aged 40 plus, had a little bit of problems navigating the app. This concludes our presentation. Thank you.